The time is 5:30 and we are reconvening after our recess where we were. And I'd like to welcome Mr. Farmer and Mr. Vineyard for coming back to us after the recess. Where we are, gentlemen, is we heard presentations earlier from three companies, Barbara McMurray and Carter Gobble Lee, from Mosley Hodge, and from the Institute, from Alan Kalmanoff of the Institute of Legal, I just have ILPP, Law and Policy. Where we are, gentlemen, is, and members of the committee, is to vote on a recommendation of who to send forward to the Budget Committee to ask them to enter into a contract to do a needs assessment for this committee and for the county concerning the jail overcrowding. The way that I had talked with purchasing that we would do this is we would go around by roll call and give our first recommendation. That person would be scored with a 1. Then we would go around and ask everybody for their second recommendation. That person would be scored with a 2. And then by default, the third company would be listed with a 3. The group or company that had the lowest total score would be the recommendation that would be forwarded on to the Budget Committee or to purchasing for them to enter into a contract for the needs assessment, and then purchasing would forward that to the Budget Committee at the next appointed meeting. Any questions? Do we have any more discussion that we'd like to have before we go to the vote? Mr. Green, do you have any questions, sir? No, sir. Mr. Farmer, I know you're coming in a little late, and I'll let you get. I can bear with you for a second. Mr. Kaler, do you have any other questions? No, Mr. French? We're going to give Mr. Farmer a couple minutes just to kind of collect himself. Ms. Pitts, do you have everything that you need? Ms. Johnson, is there anything else that you would like to say before we do the consideration? And thank you for getting us all the resumes and the referrals. Appreciate that. Did everybody get those forwarded to them last week by Ms. Johnson? Mr. Mayor, you having a good day today? Right. You're here early for the next meeting. He tends to be early. Mr. Farmer has indicated that he is ready to proceed. Ms. Pitts, can you proceed forward with the roll call vote, please, and let me turn on your mic.
Okay. Are they going to call out their person, or you just want to do the roll call?
Just call out each member by name and let them give you their first choice.
Okay, Burkhalter.
The Institute for Law and Public Policy.
Okay, Kaler.
Institute for Law and Policy Planning.
Farmer. French.
Institute for Law and Policy Planning.
Green. You have 4 for Institute for Law and Policy Planning and 1 for Mosley Hodge.
Okay. Well, now then call the next one so everybody can give their second choice.
this would be, between Barbara McMurray and Mosley?
No, not necessarily, because
Okay.
we're going to do it where everybody's going to give a first, second, and third. And
Okay.
it will be a total vote, so you can go on the same sheet. So when you call, then you'll put down 2 in each of the next slots when you call them out.
Okay, I want to keep that with each.
I understand, I'll help you.
Okay.
Just go and do the
Okay, Burkhalter,
call. Mosley Hodge,
I'm gonna put a 2 right here. Kaler,
Mosley Hodge.
Farmer, French, Green, okay,
and I believe that automatically makes Barbara McMurray the 3 on everybody else. They're the only ones that never got a first or second vote. At this time, I believe that the total vote for ILPP was a total of 6, and for Mosley Hodge was a total of 9, and then Barbara McMurray was a total vote of 15. Therefore, based upon how we'd set up with purchasing, ILPP would be the entity that we would like to contract with first to do our needs assessment. I'll entertain a motion so we can forward that to purchasing, and then she can forward that on to the full commission.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
to the budget committee first.
Huh?
Is it going to budget?
Goes to the budget committee first.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Kaler.
Is there a second? Second made by Mr. Green. Any further discussion? Seeing no discussion, please, all in favor, do we need to do this by roll call, or do we need to do this by,
Probably be best to do roll call, I think.
all right, roll call.
Burkhalter,
Yes?
Kaler,
Yes.
Farmer, French, Green. I have 5 yes.
Motion passes. The purchasing department shall try to negotiate a contract with the ILPP to do our needs assessment. Second then would be Mosley Hodge, and then third would be McMurray, Barbara McMurray, if we are unable to attain a contract with any of the other 2. That concludes item F3. Next is F4, other business. Does anybody on this committee have any other business? Seeing none, next meeting time, I think right now that's premature because we don't know when we'll get back the studies or the needs assessment. If no one has an objection from the committee, it's going to be at least 3 months out before we get back the studies, because the studies could take up to 17 weeks based upon some of so what would 17 weeks is putting us, what was that, 4 months out?
January. You want to go for January?
Yeah, let's go for a January date. That way we can have a date certain that they need to be able to do their presentation.
I don't have the calendar for 2014 yet, but that's what you're kind of looking at there. It'll be the commission meeting right there. And this is going to be the agenda committee. That's going to be
Budget.
budget.
Still on the 13th. Does Monday, January the 13th work for members of this committee? That's a Monday night. Monday night, January the 13th.
That's a cable TV too. Might be a
Oh, that's a
conflict
cable and
for
TV.
Larry. You might be able to do anything that or something between us.
Mr. Farmer, would you rather have the 13th or the 20th for the meeting? Because you have a conflict with cable and TV on the 13th.
If we do it at 5:30, that's great for me. We gonna do it at the same time.
What time does cable TV meet? No, I was gonna do it at 5:30.
That's great.
All right, we'll do it at 5:30 on the 13th of January.
January 13th, 5:30.
Okay. At this time, we'll take public input of items not on the agenda. Anybody wishing to do public inputs of items not on the agenda? Seeing no hands, I'll move for adjournment. So moved. We are adjourned.